Hey, what's up, fam? Thank y'all for tuning in once again. And as always, be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And when you do subscribe, hit the notification bell so every time I drop a video, you will be the first to know about it. Billy Garland, the father of Tupac, recently did an interview on the Art of Dialogue channel. Be sure to go check that out. Man, got a great podcast, great channel. I'll put the description in the link, put the link in the description below. But anyway, the guy did an interview, and I believe, man, it's a very important interview. He talks about his relationship with Tupac's mother, Afeni, and his relationship with his son up until the day his son died. Now, if you go back and you listen to, Tupac's song, Dear Mama, if you listen to, Afeni interviews, even her books, you would be pressed to believe that Billy Garland was a deadbeat dad. But after listening to his interview, I am leaning toward that what he is saying, or the majority of what he's saying, is true. Why do I believe that? Because his story is a story of many. I'm only gonna say black because that's the only people I know that many black men have told and have gone through since forever. And although everyone loves Tupac, he's the GOAT. We admire, look at him as an alpha, like an alpha figure, or the god of rap, whatever the case may be. The brother was human. His mother was human. He did a song, Dear Mama, calling her a black queen, even though she was a crack fiend. He talked about his dad, said his dad was a coward. But all along he was looking for a father. He was gone. But the way Billy Garland puts it, they try to make it seem like Tupac didn't want anything to do with Billy Garland. But actually, in all actuality, Tupac thought that his father was dead. But let's just go ahead and get into it, right? Afeni Shakur, mother of Tupac, former Black Panther, was on trial for, I guess, a murder conspiracy back in the early 70s. Defended herself, was pregnant with Tupac, got off, beat the charge, and like a month or so later had Tupac Shakur. All right. Again, when you look at the stories, Tupac, like I say, didn't know who his father was. You hear about, was it Geronimo Pratt was a godfather, Mutulu Shakur, I believe was that his stepdad, adopted dad, whatever the case may be, and so on and so forth. Over his life, Tupac was led to believe that maybe 2 or 3 guys could have been his dad. Billy Garland said that somebody, mentioned that, it's quite possibly Billy Garland. And when you look at this brother, and you look at the picture, you look at Billy Garland, they show pictures of his mom, and they show pictures of Tupac. All 3 of them look alike. All 3 of them, Billy Garland side of the family have strong genes. Because they look alike. There's no way in the world you could say that Tupac was not his son. But the way Billy Garland puts it, Tupac was in his life up until about the age of 3. He said he should come over to the house, visit the other kids, this, that, and the third, up until about the age of 3. And I believe he said that he got into another relationship, was getting married, and Afeni got mad or whatever. I guess probably took Tupac away, got upset, and do what typical angry women or angry mothers do. Like I said, this is a story that a lot of brothers can relate to, or even I'm gonna say kids. Period. Both brothers and sisters can relate to this, because I know a woman who didn't know who her dad was, and parents might think this stuff is cute, but it might be trying to hurt the father. But really, you are confusing the child mentally, you start in that process of creating an emotional wreck of a person when you either don't tell the child who their father, because every kid gonna want to know who their parents are, period, and what happened to them. It just goes without saying. But you tell your children these lies about their parent, the other parent, like the other parent's deadbeat, don't want to do anything, don't want anything to do with them. Ain't paying child support, over there taking care of somebody else, another woman's kid. Listen, you hear that all the time. Look at him over there taking care of another woman's kids, not even taking care of his own. When in all actuality, the problem is the relationship between the parents didn't work out. So instead of just keeping it as, okay, the parents not working out, but if you want to deal with your kids, I hope and pray that you help me raise our child. Okay, that never comes up. It's just, it never gets to that point. It's just that the mom is upset, the dad had moved on, which is what men do. Women, you see these videos where the people will break up and then the woman somehow got a man real quick, right? And the dude don't have a woman real quick. Well, if he got a woman, he ain't telling nobody. They break up, and the first thing the woman say is, "You better not have a whole bunch of women. Them have no women around my child." Just that third. If you do, you won't never see a child again. Okay. So the man to have a relationship, but won't bring around the kids. That's fine, but it's a control tactic by that woman to really either try to control that dude or try to get him back. But then on the flip side, she'll have a man in about a week taking pictures, going on picnics, going to the movies, and the children will be around. And the man will be like, I thought you said that this is how, I thought you said, we weren't going to have different people around like kids. And then she wants to sit there and argue, I'm grown, I can do what I want to. He's my kid, blah, blah, blah. You ain't here, blah, blah, blah. Why you worried about it? But yet, it's a double standard. So, most likely, that's probably what happened. Or, he got him another, Billy Gardner got him another relationship and whatever. But, back to what I was saying, though. Like I said, I knew a lady who was told that, she didn't know who her dad was. Told by the mother that the dad could be, it's this guy, and that's your only dad. The other guy ain't your dad. Nobody else your dad, blah, blah, blah. Then as the child gets older, the young lady gets older, other people are saying, well, so-and-so could be your dad. Because he's going around telling people that he's your dad. Like, what? So now the girl is confused. Because, like, who the heck is my dad? Laugh it off because, she don't want to get her mom upset, nothing like that. Then it comes out saying that maybe it's another guy who could be your dad. Right? But then that man, when everybody is like, more people are saying like, yes, this guy here, guy C, is your daddy. In the room, then more bad stories start coming out about him, that he was abusive to your mother, this, that, and the third. He was no good. So that's why we ain't dealing with him. That's why I don't deal with him. So he ain't your dad. Don't consider him your daddy. So the young lady ran with it. No matter what, the young lady ran with it. So then one day we all go to this young lady's, to a funeral for somebody in this young lady's family, right? Showing support. Her biological dad shows up. He's there. And he tries to come over and talk to the young lady. The young lady walks by and ignores him, saying something under her breath. And this, that, this, that, and the third, disparaging toward this guy. He just trying to come over and talk to her, and she just walks off. So me, with my super duper brain and intellectual ingenuity and know-how and thinking and critical thinking skills, I'm sitting here thinking, wait a minute, something don't seem right about this. Because if he was as bad at, because here's what the problem is. The young lady I'm talking about, her uncle was a no-nonsense type dude. In them streets, in the game, not gang, in the game, heavy. Her uncle, actually, if we can just put this out here, because here's the thing, her mom told her uncle one time about the guy that she was dating, that he was doing this and the third to her, stole some money, did something, right? Her uncle, from what I heard, attempted to have this guy deleted one time at his mama's house. And luckily, he was not there. But then things got worked out, this, that, and the third. And matter of fact, they were still, you know what I'm saying? They ended up having like a long relationship. Like, weird. Like, I've heard like stories of that, like a girl, I know it's a woman I remember a woman told this dude I worked with, told him that, her boyfriend was beating on her, this and the third. Dude said he went and handled that dude. Beat him up, said, keep your hands off my sister, blah, blah, blah. Next thing you know, turn around, the sister mad at him for what he did, and the sister still went back to that dude. So that's why guys be like, man, don't get involved in that. And because you don't know if your sister telling the truth or not, and she's only going by emotions. So leave that. He said she can't never call me saying whatever he did something to her, because I put my life in danger, put that brother's life in danger, and she went back to that dude anyway. So, you know what I'm saying? So you got to be careful for situations like that. What was it? What was the situation with the football player that just got found not guilty? What's his name? Trevor or Tyrone or something? Rudolph? Whatever. Anyway, luckily he got found not guilty, which he should have. Shouldn't have been luckily. He shouldn't even went to trial. But, he was dealing with a woman that was married and they was cheating, but then she saw something in his phone, got mad. She was a violent little old broad. And, she done tore up his stuff, tore up his games, tore up his car, tore up his stuff in his house. Then she gonna call her brother saying, go and shoot up his stuff because he threw me on the ground. He was being violent, never touched the woman, never beat the woman. Only thing he ever tried to do was get her off of him. And she messed around. Her brother gets deleted by this guy defending himself. You know what I'm saying? All over emotion, all over lies. Lies. That's why when men look at this statement talking about believe all women, when they tell you something, you can't do that. You can't believe all of nobody, because people are going to tell stories. People are going to tell their side of the story, their version of events, to get out of certain circumstances. You feel what I'm saying? So you can't, like I said, you can't do that. But anyway, back to my story. The young lady, like I say, I'm sitting there thinking like something ain't right, because he's trying to talk to, because like I said, her uncle, so like I said, he was heavy in the game back then. But her uncle and this guy were cool. Right? They were cool. They hung out. And this is stuff that was found out over time. Like, they hung out, they was cool for years. Up until for years. Up until like the uncle died or the dad died, whoever, but they were still cool. So I'm sitting there thinking, if your uncle was doing this to your mom's old boyfriend back in the day, why in the heck? And first of all, like I said, he's supposed to not your dad, but now he's your dad. Now it's like, if he's so bad and was so this, that, and third to you, why the heck is your uncle still kicking with him? So I was like, look, you need to talk to the guy. Talk to the guy. If for any reason, if for anything else, nothing else, your kids need to know if he got any health concerns. You know what I'm saying? Your children need to know this. Because your mama can say that this guy's your daddy, but then he not. But then the other guy that is your daddy, he might got some kind of genetic disease or issue. You see what I'm saying? And it'd be good to find out, just, you know what I'm saying, just on that reason alone. And reluctantly, she reached out to him. Come to find out, I can't recall the story because this was years ago, but come to find out that what he said was totally opposite of what the mom said. Even he was like, she was like, man, me and your uncle like friends. We used to cool. That's cool. This, that, and the third. I said, do you actually think that me and your uncle will be friends if I was who your mama said. And so that came out, but then I told her, hey, I know he's saying his story gonna be different than your mom, just just don't take it for 100%. Don't take it just for face value, but go talk to him, and get a conversation with him and, hear his side of the story. Because neither one of them was perfect. Okay, first of all, you had children young, out of wedlock, probably not really in a serious relationship, whatever. Both of them just get hot and horny. That's what kids do. Come on, let's just be honest. And yes, your mama too. So let's just be honest. Got hot and horny, mess around, got pregnant, and it is what it is. It happens. It happens to the best of them, to the worst of them. It happens. So, but like I say, just go listen to a story, hear his side of the story, and then you come to your own conclusion. But unfortunately, before that meeting was ever had, the guy died, for whatever circumstances. But that's the thing, like I say, Billy Garland's story is just like Tupac's story is like a lot of people's story. Dealing with like single mothers, or, that's why they say, man, get married before you have kids. We all did things we weren't supposed to. I did things out of order, but as we get older, we try to teach others better. We try to teach them to do the things the right way, because the way we did it made it a whole hell of a lot harder on our lives. It is what it is. But over the years, like you see, Tupac's mother told her story. Everybody dogged Billy Garland, but when you listen to his interview, one, like I say, he was in Tupac's life when he was young. Then when he got older, it was hard to get to Tupac. He was told that Tupac didn't want to have anything to do with him. But hell, why would you want to have anything to do with somebody if they didn't want to have anything to do with you your whole life? This ain't no Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, why he don't want me, and you jump to your Uncle Phil's arms. No, that ain't how the story goes. The majority of the time. The majority of the times is two grown folks in a relationship, breaks up, the man moves on, the woman gets pissed, the woman try to move on, most of the time just to make that man jealous, but shit, he don't care. And the man moves on, whatever the case, want to have contact with his child, keep the child alive, and for some reason the woman is going to hurt him because she know that child is what that man cares about, not hurting him. And how many times have we heard stories of child being told that the dude don't want to have anything to do with him, ain't being bothered, ain't sending no money, ain't doing nothing. But then when you come to find out, when somebody actually talk to the daddy, say, man, I seen your mama got a child support check for me every month, every freaking month, even when she kept you from me. Wouldn't tell me when y'all moved, which is probably what happened with Tupac and his dad. Because remember, that Tupac tell he was in New York, he was in Oakland, he was in Baltimore. So Tupac moved around. Okay, Atlanta, whatever the case may be, he moved around. And the mom moved around, and the dad doesn't know where they at. It's been times like the mom pushed the dad through so much bull crap that it gets to a point where the father gives up and say, man, I'm done. I can't keep dealing with this. Maybe when my child is older, I can explain to him, and hopefully we can mend the fences, but I don't know what to do now. I don't know what to do now. Every time I look up, I'm getting threatened by family members. I'm getting threatened by, by the court action. Every time I look up, trying to take more money out of my pocket, I'm trying to pay bills. I'm paying child support. Every time I want to see him, I can't because what? I got another woman, or I got something to do. You can't see him this week. This week, something changed. Somebody's birthday, we got to change. Change times. And then change times. You agree, change times. And then when the court get involved, it's like, well, he didn't pick him up that week. And then the court is like, why didn't he pick him up that week? And then you're like, well, I don't know why he didn't pick him up that week. He's just deadbeat. And then you're like, no, she want to do that. And then it's like, well, the court order says this and the third, no matter what's going on. Then what? So, but like I said, my point is also too, he stated that he didn't do interviews. But most of the times, guys won't do interviews. They don't talk to anyone outside their close circle about what's going on. But a woman to go out there and tell the world the lie, or her version of the story, and will tell it to the world. We'll write a book and put it in a book, saying that you are a deadbeat dad, you're just a sperm donor, to where the rest of the world believes it. I seen Reggie Wright, who used to be an ex-police officer, death row security, kind of ran death row for a little while. When he commented on part of the interview, he called Billy Garden like a sperm donor. You know, deadbeat, wasn't around, only came around when Pac died, and when Pac died, and and sued the estate for some money. And then people had a problem with him suing for the estate. Well, here's my thing. If the mama getting money, right, and other people may be getting money, why shouldn't he get money? Especially if his story is true. If his story is true, then he was not around, he was not allowed to see his kid and didn't know where his child was at for like 10, 12 years. But he says when Tupac got shot the first time, he was there. And he said that's when he said Jasmine Guy tried to say that he just popped up at her house one day. My thing is, how in the hell does this man know where you live to just pop up? Somebody had to call him up there. Come on now. When he got, saying what was it? When he went to trial and stuff, he was there. And when he got, when he was in jail, they showed a picture of him posing with Tupac and Tupac's wife and Billy Garland's girlfriend, a woman at the time. When they visited, he said they talked periodically. He would call them periodically. Whatever the case may be. That Pac wanted to actually have a relationship with him, which is true. Kids want to have a relationship with their parents, whether they perfect or not. And there's no perfect parent. What's the story? Tupac's mom was on drugs. Even Billy Garland said he was on drugs back in the day. A lot of shit. You part of Black Panther Party. There's a lot of things going on, messing with your mind and got your thinking going one way or another. Self-medicating. You just think about what the Black Panthers went through back in the 60s and 70s before they ultimately got disbanded by the government in one way, shape, or form. So no, it wasn't perfect. Maybe he did disappear for a little while and then try to come back. Think about it. If somebody disappeared for a little while and try to come back, I don't give a doggone if it's a year, 2, 10, 20 years. If they're trying to amend for mistakes they made, that person deserved it. Because I guarantee you, your mom or whatever, your brother or your father, whoever, or your friend or a girlfriend, husband, wife, I guarantee they've done many things to you over the years, and you forgave them, and you stuck by them, and you stuck with them. So why is it that he couldn't be granted the same grace? So yeah, if I was kept out of my son's life, and like I say, everybody else getting paid, shoot, I don't feel bad about getting, trying to get a piece of that. Why? Shoot, everybody, because if I don't deserve it, nobody deserves it. Because I was the one because technically, Billy Garland was the one that was done wrong, next to Tupac. Because Tupac believed his daddy was dead and couldn't find daddy still living. He said even Tupac was like, hell, when he opened his eyes, when he got shot the first time, his dad standing right over him, like God standing over him looking just like him. Like, what? Like, who is this? I'm your dad. And that's how I started. You see what I'm saying? So it's story's bullcorn, man. Like I said, bottom line, Tupac's mom lied. Told the biggest lie, saying that the man was dead. Then come back, once they found out he was living, then just call him a sperm donor. Man probably didn't have a lot of money, which a lot of black men who got a lot of money probably don't believe that if you listen to some of this rap. But who got a lot of money? Wanted to be around when he could. When people separate, you can't be around your child all the time. That's just what it is. Like, hell, even in my case, I've done, videos about it. Well, like I said, me and my first wife divorced. So I got 2 kids by first. When I moved out the house, I was right down the street, not even maybe a block or 2 away for my kids. Me and the mother, had nothing to do with each other at all. But for my kids, because I'm involved in their schooling, I'm involved in their extracurricular activities. Hell, I'm taking a doctor's appointment, still doing homework with them, still down the street. Then I moved a little bit further away, and then my oldest daughter came and stayed with me, to go to the high school that was there. Seemed like a better high school, whatever, nice neighborhood, whatever the case may be. That, but still, if my youngest daughter still was there every day. Both of my kids every day. See them damn near every day, unless it was work or school. Other than that, I was just out the house, but there all the time. But it was their mother who ended up moving a lot further away from where we were to make it to where I couldn't see my kids all the time, because I was in school and working and trying to get to school, try to get my degree, to where their mother already had one. So now I was trying to get mine, and then everything happened all at once. So it made it hard on me, but I knew what I had to do to get to where I need to get, period. But that's how my story went, and that's probably how this story goes in the story for most of these kids out here. Parents break up, parents move around, and a lot of times they use the kid to hurt the father. Lucky for me, it did get to a point where I almost felt like just saying, man, I'm done with this bullcorn, because a bunch of bullcorn being told by me. If it wasn't for my family, even my friends, and believe it or not, the family of my ex, telling me type of dad I was, type of man I was, and a good dad, and and they would say, oh man, you don't see guys like that a lot, or blah, you're a great dad, just stick with it, this and the third. If it wasn't for that support group, I'm thinking, who knows, I might have just gave up the fight and just said, man, the hell with, I'm gone. Whenever they get older, they can, we can reconnect and get back together. But because of that relationship I had, and then my kids still have relationships with them, and these people still having relationships with me, so it was never a time that I could not see my kids, because they wasn't gonna allow it, because they felt I didn't deserve that, no matter what. Now I ain't saying that their mom was just evil and stuff like that, but women get around other women who try to tell them something. Them lawyers are cutthroat. And I've already told a story about that, so I'm not even going to get into that. But anyway, as you know, I can ramble forever, so I'm gonna end it here. But tell me what you think, man. Because what do you think about Billy Garland's story? No, I don't think he's telling 100% truth. I think some of the stuff he probably sensationalizing. But I do believe that Tupac, he was in Tupac's life in the end. I do believe that Afeni Shakur lied about this man from the jump. Lied about who Tupac's dad was, and then once they found out who his dad really was, lied about the dude's involvement or perceived involvement in Tupac's life, told the world about it. Because people think, people believe that if you tell a whole world a story, then you gotta be telling the truth. But not necessarily, because I know women who done told lies to the world, and they were nowhere near the truth. Shout out to Megan Thee Stallion. But in the end, when the truth came out, nobody chastised the woman, because you can't talk bad about a black woman. Well, let's not even say talk bad. You can't tell the truth about the dastardly deeds that a black woman has done. You just can't. They won't let you do it. Now, if it was a guy, he's a deadbeat dad. He's a sperm donor. Didn't want to see Pac, left Pac when he was young and never came back. Didn't worry about him until he got famous. Right. But circumstantial evidence shows different. But again, tell me what you think. Leave your comments below and then share it with the world. And with that, I'll leave you in peace. And I'll see you on the other side.